can't wait to see this one.
Of all the superstars on the roster, this guy is amongst the hardest working. That goes without saying.
Definitely shout out to Don Chaos. We know you got our back, and we got your back too, man. Denver, Colorado all day, brother. We're definitely going to hook up with you. Much love to Carnival Spirits for putting us on as well on this YouTube, man.
Shout out to you, Don Chaos, for, I mean, what is this, episode like 126 or something like that?
Yes, sir.
Been putting in work, bro. Respect. Y'all doing some shit for the community and the fam out there. Appreciate it. So just keep doing what y'all doing, you know what I mean?
Congrats to Don Chaos for 1,000 subscribers. Whoop, whoop.
Keep it going, man.
Congratulations, Don Chaos. Yes, keep it going, man. Good luck to you, fucking Don Chaos, and fucking hell yeah on your 1,000 fucking followers.
You know who it is. It's Ouija Mac, bitch. Shout out to Carnival Spirits. And fucking shout out to Don Chaos one time. You know what's going on.
This is my brother. Everyone, Don Chaos and Brother Lynch Hung here.
Yeah, and Carnival Spirits. What's up, man? Don Chaos. What's up? It's your boy Brother Lynch Hung. We out here tonight. Let's go.
Fuego Flays and my nigga Don Chaos. What's going on, B? It's my brother right here, my boy. Excuse the laugh, excuse the laugh.
Yo, what up, y'all? This is Don Chaos, and I'm with a very legendary man. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Hey, Sean. Yeah, we at the gathering, y'all.
Podcast/radio show of the year. This one's always controversial. Coming in number one, we got Hours of Chaos with Don Chaos. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, there. Congratulations, man. Don Chaos, Hours of Chaos.
Yo, 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 yo. What is up, everyone? Sorry about that, y'all. Of course, right when I go live is right when a order gets delivered to the house. So sorry about that, y'all. Sorry to keep y'all waiting. Yeah, it's like right when I hit go live is when an order arrives at the door. So yeah, what's up, everyone? Hopefully everyone's doing good. Of course, tonight we are going to be joined by the one and only Jinzx. So he's already in the green room waiting. So hopefully everyone's doing good. So let's go ahead and bring our guests on. Again, shouts to HB the Grizzly, who recommended that we interview this man. So everyone, please welcome, making his debut on the Hours of Chaos podcast. Please welcome the one and only Jinzx. Jinzx. What's up, man?
Ooh, what's going on, fam?
What's up?
Hold on one second, just making sure my All right, yo, can you hear me?
Yep. Can you hear us?
I can hear you just fine, fam. Thank you for having me on, bro.
Hell yeah. Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you.
And yes, y'all, our guest still is here, but his image is on there, but you guys can hear him, but you can't see him.
Yeah, I got my camera off because I look like fucking shit right now, and people just don't need to see my face at the moment.
Well, hell yeah, man. Again, welcome to the show. And for those who don't know who you are, what we do when our guests come on is you just give a brief introduction, who you are, and where you're from, and then, yeah, we will ask with the questions.
All right, for sure. My name's Jinzx. Some of you might know me best for my appearances on Netflix with Killer Mike. I am from Gainesville, Georgia.
Hell yeah. And how long have you actually been rapping?
Oh God. I started rapping when I was like 15 years old. I remember I was like 13 when I really started getting inspired. And fucking one day, oh man, this is a long, complicated story. Okay. So when I was like 15, when I was a teenager, I spent a whole lot of time getting in trouble and shit. I was a bad juvie. I had a bad attitude, got in a lot of fights, shit like that. And fucking damn, I was going around telling people I was a rapper when I wasn't. I was like 13 telling people I was a rapper. And one day I walked over to someone, acted like I was the shit. Dude freestyled me, shit all over me. It was embarrassing. And I just decided, you know what, it's time to pick up the pad and start getting good with this shit.
Hell yeah. And how did you come up with the name Jinzx? And did you go by other names before you stuck with the one that you have?
I had a bunch of other names, honestly. I originally started off just using the initials of my name, just JDM, you know. And I adapted other names, ones of which I'm not really proud of because they're just really cringy. But Jinzx, I decided to make that the like official name probably a good maybe 10 years ago, something like that. And I originally used to spell it with O at the end, and then later on I just decided X because it's just better for marketing reasons, shit like that. And it's very symbolic.
Oh yeah.
Uh-oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry, I think I might have lost you for a second. My bad. Yeah.
Oh, no, you're good.
But yeah, the name Jinzx, it's really supposed to represent like a lot of mental health awareness, stuff like that. I'm very big into mental health and stuff because I was diagnosed with schizophrenia and Tourette's syndrome. So whenever especially in the Juggalo community, we're all fucked up. This is what it is, but for me, like that's just a very symbolic name. Like even down to the face paint, it's all symbolic. Like that represents, like to me, my face paint. It's not necessarily like I mean, yeah, it's Juggalo paint, but it's there's a lot more meaning behind it for me personally. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Especially with the half paint, like one represents Jordan, the other represents Jim.
Hell yeah, and I like that whole concept. I always thought that was like a very dope idea.
Oh, thank you, bro.
Hell yeah. So what actually, like, if you can remember, like, what was the first song that like got you into the wicked shit, or what? How did you discover ICP? What was like the first song that like grasped your attention where you're like, what is this?
Crooked Preacher Killer and Birthday Bitches.
Hell yeah.
Off the top, I remember I got it on a burnt CD. Like I said, when I was a kid, I spent a whole lot of time getting in trouble and shit, and I was actually introduced to the Juggalo scene via Juvenile Hall. And fucking so man, like it was weird. So it's like, for me, it was I got introduced to the scene mainly via adoption, if that makes sense. Like via adoption, like I just became friends with the Juggalos, and they're just like, bro, you're family now. I'm just like, okay, family now, and I just kind of started learning from there, you know. And a lot of these people, not all of them, some of them. I still talk to some of them today. That was so long ago. And I was given a burnt CD, and it had Crooked Preacher Killer, Birthday Bitches on it. I just remember how much I love those songs, bro.
Hell yeah. And what year was that?
Oh God, I couldn't even begin to tell you honestly. It's ancient time.
Hell yeah. And what was like the first like piece of music like that you remember in general, like falling in love with, that grasped your attention with music in general?
Music in general? Like just as a whole, like metal or just hip hop?
Just like music in general. Like me, I remember the first music that I like really got into that I remember when I was a little kid was like some Prince or something.
I would say probably Coolio. And I was probably 8 years old. My mom, she listened to a variety of music growing up, from pop to country to rap, all sorts of shit. And I remember hearing Gangster's Paradise when I was a kid, but it was the ending that got me with the choir, and it just sounded just genuinely nice. It was like a you know, and that part to me just sounded really catchy, and I think that's personally what kind of started sparking a little bit of an interest in hip hop, just in general.
Hell yeah! Rest in peace, Coolio.
Yeah, he was a great MC. I mean, granted, I only like some songs from him, you know, but he still holds a very nostalgic part in my life.
Yes, I got the chance to like see him in concert one time. It was really dope.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Of course, my very first show I ever went to in general when I was younger, my first show was a Snoop Dogg show, like concert in general.
I've never got to see Snoop Dogg live. I can only imagine how awesome that was for you, honestly.
It is. It was Snoop Dogg, E40, Twista, Chamillionaire, and Paul Wall all in the same night.
That's crazy. That's awesome, bro. The very first show I've ever went to, believe it or not, it was my own show. I've never been to a concert all the way up to the point I had to perform one.
Oh, nice. How was that like? Like, I usually ask our guests, what was that like being on the stage for the first time? Were you nervous? Did you get a little bit of stage fright? Like, how was it?
I'm going to be honest, it was terrifying. So I was just straight up like thrown to the wolves, and I was so nervous. I felt like I was just straight up going to fucking walk off. But I tore the roof off the place. It was my first show. They threw me in front of an audience of 400 people just to kick things off raw. And it's like, bro, like, this is the first time me standing on the stage. You're going to throw me in front of 400 people. I'm a chicken shit motherfucker. You know, so I got up there. I did my thing, though. Ripped the roof off the place. It was dope. And shout out TJ Freak. I don't know if you know who he is. You need to look him up. He's real dope. TJ Freak and all the respectful people of Dum Dummy. They were the ones that put the show together. And I don't talk to them as much anymore, but you know, I still got love and big shout out to them. And I'm gonna hit them up soon. Actually, I need to.
Hell yeah! And you mentioned you were on like Netflix with Killer Mike. Explain how that is. Like, I love Killer Mike. That dude's got flow and bars.
Man, Killer Mike's awesome. Fucking when I was on the set recording Trigger Warning, the name of the show on Netflix called Trigger Warning.
Mm-hmm.
And I was up on there probably a good week. We spent recording that episode. And Killer Mike was really cool. I genuinely enjoyed Killer Mike, and I enjoyed being around T-Pain. The show was kind of a flop. Well, not kind of a flop. It was a super motherfucking flop. I'm gonna be honest with you. It was bad. And they kind of made me look real bad. You know, they took my message. They spun it around. You know, they did me kind of dirty on there, but it's not Killer Mike's fault. I got a lot of love for him. It's just the people in Netflix that I personally just don't like.
Oh yeah.
But you know how mainstream are. They hate juggalos, bro. You can go up on there with the most sincere message and the most positive outlet, and they'll flip it around and make you look like a piece of shit.
Yeah, I noticed that. Like the mainstream, there's still like that bit of the mainstream that's not accepting, but then there's the other half of the mainstream that now is more accepting, which is cool.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. Especially with the more lyrical side of hip hop finally making a comeback, you know, because we got people like Hobson and Tech Nine that's starting to invade the more mainstream world respectfully, and they're still being dope while doing it. And because of them, they're opening doors for people that are more deserving.
Exactly, and that's one thing I like is like a lot of these like underground acts that do have talent are now like starting to get the props they deserve. Like it started like around like maybe 2015. You notice that's when like the hip hop community was really starting to like accept ICP more now, which is cool.
Absolutely. I got a buddy of mine actually. We were talking about we philosophize a lot about hip hop, and I'm a rap fan through and through, bro. I love the whole culture. I love all of it.
Same.
I was raised around it. You know, and not just the wicked shit, but all of it. Like, you know, you ask me my top 10, you know, it's not just going to be underground rappers. I'm going to throw in people like Jay-Z and Pac and Andre 3000 from Outkast and all of them, and Method Man of the Wu-Tang. But respectfully, I straight up just put Violent J at number one. And, you know, we were talking about this, and you know, he asked me, he was like, Violent J, number one. He was like, why's Violent J at number one? I was like, I'll tell you why Violent J is at number one. And it's not just because he's a juggalo and it's just the family thing to do. But I go on to explain, I'm like, on a lyrical level, like, I don't feel like he punches Eminem or Tech Nine or some shit, but nobody tells a better story than Violent J. It's not just about crazy, complex computer rhyme schemes. It's about the ability to tell a story, and nobody is able to paint a picture as good as Violent J does. You know.
Oh yeah, that's what we said.
And he's in the attic. You know what I'm saying? And that's why he falls at number one straight up, because he is the best storyteller just ever.
Oh yeah, and a lot of us have said that Jay's is gonna go down as one of the great storytellers, like in the genre.
Oh, absolutely. But I think he's already there. I got the privilege of meeting him earlier this year, or last year, excuse me. We just started this year. You know, I had the privilege of meeting him earlier last year, and he was just so humble and fucking cool, bro. Like, he was at the Days of the Dead horror convention in Atlanta, Georgia, and we got up bright and early. Me and my homie, we went out there. I was one of the first people there with my face painted. Like, I was like, motherfucker, I'm going to meet Violent J. And that's what we did. And we went out, we met him, and he was just so humble, and he was awesome, man. And I looked at him like no homo, you know, like I dabbed the fuck out of him, bro. Like it was like a gangster hug, you know what I'm saying? You know, I looked at him, I was like, man, I just fucking love you guys so much, bro. And he was like, we fucking love you too, bro. And it was just awesome.
Hell yeah. And that's one thing I always like about them is that they've always been very appreciative of people. And I've even told them when I first met them, I know you guys probably hear this all the time, but thank you guys for what you do. Your guys' music really helped me. And they're like, you're welcome.
Absolutely, man. Like, they're the more humble ones. You know, they always say, you know, never to meet your idols because it can either A, be the worst experience in your life, or B, it's going to be one of the best ones. And in my case, it was one of the best. It was very pleasant, you know, compared to, I'm not going to name any names because I'm not trying to throw any shade, but compared to some other people, it wasn't very pleasant. And meeting Violent J was very
Exactly. And that's like how it's been for me. Like I've actually been lucked out like to meet a lot of my idols and heroes, and it's always been a good experience. From the time I met ICP, it was a dope experience. When I met Tech 9, dope experience. When I met Brother Lynch Hung, dope experience.
I never met Brother, and I really want to meet Tech. I just haven't gotten around to it. Sadly, the thing is with the whole Georgia scene, you know, the Juggalo scene doesn't really migrate over here very much because it's more of a northern thing, and I'm in the South, you know. But so I don't really get to meet as many people as what I would like. Like, I've met Esham, I've met ABK, I've met Violent J, obviously. I've met Ritz, Lex the Hexmaster, shout out him. We actually plugged in some collabs. I've done a few songs with him. He's dope. I've met Scum. I've met Young Wicked. Both of the boys of A&B, they came here. And all those were personally really good experiences for me. I got to open up for them at the Masquerade, Hell Sage. It was really dope.
And that's what's cool is like, I know there was always a big Juggalo scene in like Georgia, but it was like very condensed. It was like more spread out and stuff. Yeah,
it's weird, man. It's weird. Like, I've never really been to the South, you know, but like, or not the South, excuse me. I've never really been to the North. I live in the South. Sorry, my bad. Like, I never really been to the North, you know, but I know that's where, you know, Juggalos really started, you know, originating from. So it's like you go up to places like Michigan or whatnot, they're going to be everywhere. You'll find Juggalos everywhere, you know, but it's like you come here to Georgia, you know, they're around, but it's a lot more far in between. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Like there was a lot that I knew that like lived around the like Atlanta area and stuff.
Oh yeah. In the Atlanta area, you're more promising to find them. But even then, I would say it's still a bit more kind of minorities. I would say.
Yeah, and I heard the Masquerade is a good venue. I heard like especially like in Georgia, no matter who you see there, it's like a good show. Like that's like one of the Juggalo hot spots like in Georgia is the Masquerade.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you'll find Juggalos there. Some venues aren't really that Juggalo friendly though. Like there was times where I was doing shows and I would just straight hear people complaining about how they hated booking Juggalo shows because they just don't like Juggalos.
Yeah, and I like how you said that you've met Ritz. A fun fact, me and him actually share the same birthday, and that dude, he's got fucking bars, like goddamn.
Oh yeah, he's from Gwinnett County, Georgia, and I've lived in Gwinnett County as well. So I represent Gainesville, bro. I represent Gainesville, but I'm literally just from pretty much everywhere. Like my whole entire life, I've just spent pretty much just always on the move. I've lived in Cumming, Georgia. I've lived in Gwinnett. I've lived in Gainesville. I've lived in Buford. You name it. If it's in Georgia, I've lived there. I even lived in Kansas for one. And when I met Ritz, actually, it was crazy how I met him. I didn't even meet him at a show. I accidentally bumped into him in Helen, Georgia, while he was shopping. We got our picture together.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, it was dope. It's a funny story because like I was in Helen. I was walking around. I was homeless at the time, and I was walking around Helen, and I was listening to Scum in my headphones, and I remember looking down at my phone. And Ritz was next on my playlist. I saw his name on my phone. And I looked up, and ironically, he was crossing the fucking road.
Damn.
He was just walking across, and I thought I was tripping. I was like, maybe I'm just crazy, you know, but that motherfucker's hair looks real familiar. I noticed his hair, but it was from the back, so I couldn't tell. I just noticed his hair, and I was like, am I crazy? You know, so like I'd be lying if I said I didn't go into. I'm not gonna say I went in stalker mode, you know, but I investigated. Just like, you know, anyone would, you know. So I investigated. I walked across the road and I had it in my head and everything. I was like, I'm gonna walk over. I'm gonna say, excuse me, you know. And if he turns around and it's not him, I'm just gonna be like, oh my bad, you look like a friend of mine, you know. So he walked into the jewelry store. I walked across and I just walked in, you know, and I just flat out walked over. I was, excuse me, you know. And he turns around and it was him. He turned around with a strange music necklace and everything. I was like, oh my god, bro, you're motherfucking Ritz. And he was like, what's up, man? And, like, he dabbed me up. It was cool, you know, and I got my picture with him. It was his anniversary. He was on his anniversary with his wife, and they were up in Helen for the week. And man, he was cool. And I saw him again the next day.
Oh yeah, that's dope.
Oh yeah, it was real dope. I wish my old Instagram wasn't deactivated because he actually followed me on there too.
Hell yeah. And what's one thing that's cool about Georgia is Georgia has a very rich, even like rap history, like in general.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, we have Atlanta, fam. You know, I mean, because of Georgia, you know, we gave birth to Outkast, Ludacris,
which Outkast. The Outkast is like one of my all-time like favorite groups of like all time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They're very nostalgic to me. The first Outkast CD I actually heard was The Love Below.
Oh yeah.
And I don't feel like that's the best Outkast CD. Personally, I like AT Aliens.
Yes, that's definitely mine.
Oh yeah, that one's just good, man. Andre 3000. I'll tell you the reason why he's in my top 10. The reason why. His flow alone. I feel like his flow is so ice cold, bro. Like, I don't think there's people out there that I think could top it, but they're very far in between.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, his flow is it's the definition of just tough. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I love about Andre, you know, and like he doesn't even say a bunch of like hard ass crazy shit. You know, like he just goes up there, he raps, and he's just dope while he's doing it, and his flow just sticks out to me.
And that's one thing I always liked about like Andre 3000 is he like his flow is like just out there, like off the top, and then he like wears all these cool weird outfits he's looked at as the best way I described it, I said he's like the Jimi Hendrix of hip hop.
Oh yeah, well this is how I look at it, family. I look at it like this, you know, it's like, especially these days in rap, you know, especially, you know, because you get a lot of these fucking rappers that their music is so bad it's just hard to listen to. You know what I mean? And they go up there and they identify as dope or they identify as amazing all because their watch and they got all this ice, and it's like, I don't know what that has to do with the price of beans in China, what your fucking, you know, your fucking drip has to do with your abilities on a microphone, you know. But you get people like Andre 3000 that goes up there dressing up weird, and he just spits it, you know, because like he it's like, to me that's proven a point. Like, your abilities on the mic, let me rephrase this, your clothes does not determine your abilities on the microphone.
Exactly.
And that's Andre 3000, the exact definition. And that's why, you know, it's just stuff like that puts him in my top 10.
And that's one thing I always liked, like when they put like two different rappers together and where they can bounce off of each other but have two different styles. Like Andre 3000, his lyrics are like off the top wall.
Yeah.
And then Big Boy's
just spitting some other shit. He does his gangster shit.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, and then Big Boy's like, yeah, he does like gangster shit. And then ICP's almost the same way. You have Jay and Shaggy that have their own style and stuff.
Oh yeah. I feel like what makes Shaggy a good lyricist, because I was talking about you know, Violent J earlier and his ability just to tell the story, and that's what makes him great. You know, but I think what makes Shaggy really good, you know, and he has the ability to tell good stories too. I feel like Shaggy is the more slept on one. Like, I feel like people underestimate his abilities, you know, and like, this is however people take it, but I feel like even a lot of the family underestimate Shaggy too, though, and his abilities on the mic. He's so fucking nice and people don't see it, dude. Like, Bazooka Joey, enough said. You know what I'm saying? Like, that whole entire thing. He said Grandpappy was a World War II vet, and I found his bazooka set. you know, and we just started going in, and I feel like that was one of the more creative ICP tracks, and it was done by Shaggy Two Dope. You know, but I feel like regarding Shaggy, I think his strongest trait as an MC is his overall delivery and just the energy that he brings to the table. He's unbelievably hype.
Exactly. Now, what is your creative writing process? Like, everyone has their own creative writing process. What's like your creative writing process?
Genuinely, I try to come off more as an MC or a lyricist. You know what I mean? Whenever I'm writing my shit, I focus predominantly on a lot of rhyme schemes. Like I like to study poetry. Like, see, when you're writing a rap, it's so much more than just the end rhyme. It's like anybody can sit here and be like, you know, just a basic ass flow and rhyme the last word that comes on the bar. You know, like I could sit here and be like, you know, yo, my name is Jinzo and I'm hanging out on a podcast, you know, and then in the next bar just rhyme podcast, you know. But you know, there's so much more stuff before it, like in poetry, you know, and what that's called is just the basic end rhyme, you know what I'm saying? But like there's other stuff too, like you got the internal rhyme, and that's all the stuff that rhymes in the middle. You have the front rhyme, and that's the first word that rhymes at the very beginning of the bar. You got family rhymes, and that's where you rhyme line 1 with line 3, line 2 with line 4. Symbolic rhymes, and that is the word that comes before the end rhyme. For example, Fred Durst from Limp Bizkit. I know you know who he is. He quoted in Boiler, "Sometimes some things turn into dumb things." And if you didn't know any better, you would think he was rhyming things with things, but he was actually rhyming some with dumb. Sometimes some things turn into dumb things. It's the word before the end rhyme, and that is a symbolic rhyme. You got near rhymes. It's the ability to take different type of words that don't rhyme and make them rhyme. Eminem's notorious for that. You know, doing stuff like that. And whenever I'm going through my creative process, I focus on mainly flow. Well, I focus mainly on rhyme schemes. Flow is number 2. Like me and my buddy, we were talking about like a stat system. You know, and it's like you got delivery, you got flow, you got rhyme schemes, wordplay, you know, so much different things that go into the creative process of writing just a regular 16-bar verse, just knowing how to build up into a punchline, stuff like that. You know, and whenever I'm going through my shit, I focus mainly rhyme schemes. I love words.
Oh yeah.
Like Royce the 5'9", I think it was in Psychopathic Killer.
Yeah.
He quoted at the beginning, he was talking about words. He was like words, they're like puzzle pieces, you know, or something along the lines of that. And he was comparing words to puzzle pieces. And I hear that little thing, and it'll probably go over a lot of people's heads, you know, but to me, that sticks out and it meant something because I was like, I relate to that. Just words is something I genuinely I like words. I like making puns. Very punny when I make my shit.
Hell yeah. I'll be back, man. I'll be like right back.
For sure, fam.
All right, I'm back.
What's back, family? Trying to figure out how to pull up the Oh, there's the chat. Yeah.
Yeah. So what is actual?
What am I, John Cena?
So yeah, what is like your favorite, like if you had to pick, like everyone has like their favorite Joker's card? Like, which Joker's card like speaks to you the most?
Oh, Riddlebox, or not Riddlebox, Ringmaster. Ringmaster, hands down. Like the main, like I don't know, it's just something about the design of it that I really enjoyed. But there's just songs on there of which, again, Violent J was displaying just his creative, crazy storytelling. Mr. Johnson's Head, that one really stuck out to me because of the creativity behind it. And I just remember, like, when I was a kid, I hated school. I didn't take it serious at all. And, you know, I hear songs like Mr. Johnson's Head, and it sticks out to me with the humor of it.
Oh yeah, and that's like one of those albums. Like, I love the Dead One, and even though that song came out in '94, that song is still dark, and that song still gives me like goosebumps. Oh
yeah. The Loons is a good one. I really enjoyed the Loons remix that they did on what's my phone doing? Sorry about that. I really enjoyed the Loons remix. That one was really good. I feel like it was a bit more upbeat, and it just matched overall better with the delivery.
Mm-hmm.
Neck Cutter. Yeah. It went from the Loons and they turned it into Neck Cutter.
Fuck yeah.
Oh shit. Like that.
And then what is actually, if you had to pick, like, what is like your like top 5 like albums like of all time, like in just music in general?
In general?
Uh-huh.
Ooh. Some people are gonna call me a Juff for this, but I don't give a shit. Marshall Mathers LP.
It's a classic.
And this is in no particular order. No particular order. Ringmaster.
Hell yeah.
Judgment Day by Method Man.
Hell yeah.
Love Below by Outkast. I mentioned that one earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And although I think I enjoy AT Aliens more, I'm putting Love Below in there because it has a more nostalgic background for me. And a good number 5? Probably The Green Book, Twisted.
Hell yeah, those are definitely some very good picks.
Or Raw by Hobson. It's a toss up between The Green Book and Raw.
Oh yeah, that Hobson album, Raw. That album is still dope.
10. Hobson's in my top 10. He is fucking so unbelievably dope, like mind-blowingly dope.
Yeah, I got to see him at the Gathering in 2018, and he's actually very dope live.
Oh yeah, like I've sadly never got to see him perform like live. Like I've seen him perform, you know, like on videos and shit.
Uh-huh.
And just based on his online performance alone, it's mind-boggling.
Oh, hell yeah. Now, when you went to your first ever like clown show or juggalo event, what was that like? Like, do you remember it like it was yesterday, or did you not know what you were getting into, or did you know what you were getting into?
Oh, I already knew what I was getting into. I always feel very at home whenever I'm in environments. Whenever I'm in environments full of juggalos, I always feel very at home. It's just very it's wholesome, I guess you could say. It's crazy. But for me, I always feel very comfortable. I'm able to just walk around, socialize with the family, you know, and not just talk about me. I mean, yeah, I talk about me too, you know, because I like to promote my shit, you know, and I give my YouTube and I show people my abilities on the mic and what I'm capable of, you know, but like just walking up in there, you know, and just talking about ICP, talking about tech, you know, and talking about Twisted. And I know, you know, ICP and Twisted is a sensitive subject to a lot of people, you know, so I'm not going to dive too deep into that. But, you know, for me, I personally take a very mutual stance. That's just how it is. Because in my eyes, family is family, and it's not my business.
Yeah, the best way I described it, I tell people, it's like mom and dad are fighting and we're the kids, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, it's like, I see people, they take sides, you know, and especially when I scroll down my news feed, I see people, you know, asking questions like ICP or Twisted, and I'm just like, I really feel like these questions shouldn't exist because, in my opinion, I feel like it feeds the hatred, you know. And Juggalo, like I don't feel like and just hear me out. Like when I think of Juggalo, I mean, yeah, I mean, I love ICP and I love Twisted, but like when I think of Juggalo, I don't immediately gravitate toward ICP or Twisted. I gravitate toward Juggalo. Like I don't feel like any music necessarily like defines the family. The family defines the family. Like when I think of Juggalo, I just think of family, and just in general. You know what I mean?
That's pretty much like what I've told people is I think the fan base has like grown beyond the music.
Yeah, definitely. You know, and when I see people asking questions like that, I'm like, that I feel like that shouldn't exist. Like, and genuinely, it's very hard to compare the two. It's very hard to compare them anyway because they actually are very much different, you know. And again, it comes down to the stat system that I was telling you about earlier, that me and my friend was talking about, you know, flow, delivery, all that different stuff, rhyme schemes, wordplay. I feel like it all comes down to the mood. Like I feel like if you want to hear a good story and you want some good laughs, ICP.
Yeah, that's pretty much like how I am.
To make you smile, you know.
That's like how I am. Like I tell people, like if you want to have a friendly like conversation about it, fine. Like if it was going to be like Twisted, I would say I will choose like a lot of Twisted's older stuff over some of their newer stuff. Like Twisted's older stuff, I will admit is straight fire.
Yeah, definitely. You know, so yeah, like that's what I'm saying. You know, it's like if you want to hear a good story, you know, and just some creative storytelling and some comedy, something that'll make you smile, you go to ICP. But if you want to hear some, you know, overall just lyricism, you know, and something a bit more relatable, then I would say Twisted. Like if you're trying to hear some real shit, go listen to Twisted. But if you want to hear some wicked shit, go listen to ICP. You know, and they both fit the wicked shit respectfully, you know. But what I'm saying, you know, it just comes down to a whole entire mood. Like they're very similar, but they're very different because they're different moods.
Exactly. That's the best way I describe it.
Exactly. You know, so yeah, you know, so it's really hard to compare them, you know. But genuinely, I just hate it when people ask questions like that because it's like, man, just love them both. They're both nice, you know. It's okay to have a favorite. It's okay to favor one more than the other. That's just human. You know what I'm saying? Like personally, I like ICP more than Twisted. Personally, no disrespect, you know, but that doesn't mean that I don't love Twisted. You know what I mean? And that's okay.
Exactly, and that's how it just should be. And that's why I just laugh when a lot of these people that weren't probably around during the whole situation with what's going on, they act like they know what's going on. And that's why I tell people, you know, I've been actually listening to like Dark Lotus a lot. Like I'll never get tired of listening to Dark Lotus because Dark Lotus is my shit.
Absolutely. I got a Dark Lotus cross tatted on my arm. It looks like shit because we did it while everyone was drunk, but I gotta get it touched up. It looks so bad, but
like that original Tales from the Lotus Pod, the Red Cross with Mars, in my opinion, that is like my opinion, the #1 Psychopathic Records album of all time.
Which one? I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry.
The original Tales from the Lotus with the Red Cross.
Oh yeah, definitely. Just anything, man. I really genuinely miss the Dark Lotus projects. It's sad that everything had to come to an end like that. You know what I mean?
Which I just got like weird vibes.
I'll be honest. I didn't jump too far into the Psychopathic Riders project. I heard a couple of songs from it. Genuinely, I never really dived too deep into it. I probably should have, but I didn't. You know. The Dark Lotus projects definitely stuck out a bit more to me.
Oh yeah, that's kind of how I am. I mean, I love Riders, but as far as like the super groups, Lotus actually speaks more to me because they talk about that spiritual stuff, the occult stuff, conspiracy stuff.
Definitely. Some of it gets you thinking.
Exactly, and I think that's why when I always had to pick, I always said I love Riders, but Lotus is what actually speaks to like me more.
Yeah. Definitely. You know, I'm trying to position my phone a bit better. Right, you there?
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
You're right.
But yeah, definitely. Dark Lotus, definitely some of the more doper stuff. Like I said, I got a Lotus tattoo on my arm. I need to get around to getting it touched up. And it holds a lot of sentimental value to me, despite the fact of how ugly it looks. Because like when I look at it, I mean, I just immediately think I need to get this fucking thing fixed. You know, it still holds that value to me. You know what I'm saying? Because like this whole entire tattoo right here, you know, when it was done by a juggalo homie. We were all drunk. We were all fucking doing stupid shit, and it came out looking atrocious. But the magic behind it, you know, because when it was done, everybody was smiling and we were having a good time, and it was just overall a very peaceful moment. You know what I mean? It was fun. Everybody was having fun. We were all happy.
Oh yeah. Now you've actually been on like a few other shows. You've been like on Tales from the Lotus podcast.
Yeah. I was on. I've been on Tales of the Lotus podcast more than a few times, probably.
And that's probably where I remember you also.
Oh yeah. I was on there a lot. I also did an interview with CPN. I was on Underground Wicked Radio a bunch of times with DJ Snickers. Shout out him. All sorts of shit. There was a few other podcasts I was on as well. I just Bounce Ball Boogie. Big shout out him. He's dope. Me and him, we got a song together, Planet Murder. You need to look that up if you haven't heard it. It's sick as shit. Shout out Bounce Ball Boogie. Shout out DJ Snickers. Shout out Lotus Podcast. Yeah.
Of course, we want to give a shout out to HB the Grizzly. She's the one that like.
Yeah. My bad. Man, I feel like an asshole now because I forgot to fucking shout her out. My bad. Big shout out HB the Grizzly because she was the one that put this out there.
Which I love her flow, like her flow and her delivery and the work and the hard work she puts in. It's like, damn.
Oh yeah, she is very, very talented. Very talented. I've known her for a while. She's actually my ex-girlfriend, and we left on great terms. Of course, like we broke up. You know, like, it's all good. You know, I'm not gonna put that out there, but you know, we're still very good friends today, and she is one of the most talented artists I've ever heard in my life.
Oh yeah. And then what projects do you like have currently working on, and can we expect like a full-length release coming soon? Like, what's your game plan this year and beyond?
Repeat that.
Oh, what's your like game plan for like this year and beyond, basically?
This year and beyond. Well, I don't want to throw too much out there because I'm trying to keep some of this secret. You know? I can't just throw my secrets out there because then it won't be a secret no more. And I want people to be shocked when I drop it and shake the world up. But you know, I got some projects I'm working on. Goal for this year. I'm trying to grow more. You know, I got like 2,000 subscribers on YouTube. I got like 3,000 followers on Facebook. I got some viral songs that I put out, and I'm trying to get them to go even more viral. Like my most viewed song at the moment, over 300,000 views on YouTube. That is over 250,000. And I'm very happy with the numbers, and it's all natural. I'm trying to do that with every song.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to do that with every song, and the goal, just overall as a lyricist, I'm a very humble man. I'm very humble. I still live very humble, and I'm not gonna go too much in my personal life, but it's a very humble one. You know, thus I have very humble traits, but I know my worth as a lyricist, and I know I'm sick as shit. I know I'm dope as shit, and I know that, you know, that's just however anyone takes it. And if they got a problem, hey, I'm a certified battle elite. We could go. You know? But I want people to hear me, and I want them to notice my lyricism. I want people to hear talent that I bring to the table. But I want people to know Jinzx for his lyricism.
Oh yeah.
And overall, just all the Juggalo love I have to share.
Hell yeah, and we definitely have all your links down in the description to help you out. And can we expect like an official store to be up soon?
Ooh, I don't know much about that. Like I said, I'm a humble motherfucker. I'm a fucking struggle-o. I'm a struggle-o. Like, despite the fact of some of the numbers I break, believe me, it does not come with racks. But you know, maybe, you know, I might like press some stuff up, you know, and if people want a t-shirt or something, holler at me. Just message me on Facebook or some shit, and I'll go out of my way, press one up, and just send it to you in the mail or something. I've done stuff like that with CDs or shit. I just press it up and just send that shit via mail. You know, give me your size. We'll figure out a price. I'll press that bitch up and send it to you directly.
Well, hell yeah, and you're always welcome back on the show anytime, man. So if you're ever like working on anything and you want to come on the show to promote something, or you recommend anyone that you want to be on the show, just like let me know. You're always welcome back on the show, man.
Oh yeah, family, thank you. Can I shout out a homie of mine?
Of course, as many shout outs as you want.
I want to give a big shout out to my homie New World Disorder. He's dope as fuck, and he's extremely fucking underestimated. He's underestimated. He's slept on. He's one of the most lyrical MCs I know, and he's one of my best friends.
Oh yeah.
And people need to look him up. New World Disorder. That's NEW space WORLD space DIS space order ORDER.
Oh yeah, and I think it's funny how
we got Mind Tricks together, Monster, so many dope songs, and man, just look it up. Just trust me.
Oh yeah, and that's cool how you said you're in Georgia. I'm actually down here in Florida.
Oh, nice. I was up in I was in Florida last year, and I stayed there for a whole month with my homie, one of my homies that I've known since high school. And man, Florida knows how to get down. You motherfuckers want to party, bro. That's all we did for a month straight was just club hop and party and drink and talk to bitches and just fucking. Oh my god, it was so fun.
Yeah, I've only been living down here for 2 years, but I'm originally from Denver, Colorado.
Nice. I think I might have been to Colorado maybe once when I was a kid. I might be getting confused though. I know I got family that lives in Colorado.
And I actually know Scum personally. That's like my dude.
Oh yeah, Scum's dope. I met him at the Masquerade, and he was dope as fuck. Man, he's a funny one too, bro. Fucking, I was in the bathroom painting my face up, getting ready for the show, and I was telling him I was like, man, it takes me forever to get this shit done. He looked at me. He was like, man, Lex gets that shit done in like 15 minutes. And I was like, that's Lex. It takes me like 30. And he looked at me. He was like, that's why I wear a mask. He threw that thing on. He was like, there. He just walks out the door. I'm like, oh, man.
And that's one thing about Scum. Like, we can all admit, when you hear his music, you're like, okay, this dude must be intimidating. And then you meet the dude. He's
like the nicest person in real life. Like, he just goes around just mad fucking cheesing everywhere he goes, bro. Just smiling. He's a very friendly dude.
He is.
I thought he was gonna be like fucking like brutal, and like I imagine like when I met him, he was gonna just talk like this everywhere he goes, like a brutal, mean motherfucker, you know. And it's like he's like just the friendliest dude.
Yeah, and that's one thing I like also is that, and he gives some of the like best like advice. He's like giving me like some of the best advice in this game, like anything, like whether it's my show. I know artists have said he's given them the best advice too.
Oh yeah. Hell, I've even gotten I've gotten good advice from Playboy the Beast back in the day. I remember I messaged him on Facebook. Like, I don't really talk to him much anymore, but I remember the biggest show I've ever did. It was like 3,000 plus people, and it's when I was opening up for Run the Jewels. And oh yeah, that was a dope show. And I messaged Playboy the Beast on Facebook, and I was like, All right, man. So I'm going on stage, like in the next 5 minutes. I got like 3,000 people that's looking at me. What I do? And he messages me. He was like, "Best advice I give you." He was like, "Stay sober. Don't get drunk behind the scene. Don't get high. Just go on there sober, do your thing, and don't fumble." I'm like, "Yeah." So I went up there. I did my thing. It was dope. That was that.
Well, hell yeah. Thank you for joining, man. Again, you're always welcome back on the show anytime.
Hell yeah, bro. I'd love to come back.
Hell yeah. And you have a good night.
You too, man. Peace out.
Later. Whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop.
And that was Jinzx, y'all. Hell yeah. So we're going to go and get into some topics. Again, shout outs to my sponsors down below. Make sure you check out Blind Death Clothing down below, my sponsors. Make sure you check out the official Dawn Chaos merchandise store. So get yourself some Dawn Chaos swag down below, as well as some Blind Death Clothing, my sponsors down below. And definitely check out Lady Chaos down below. And definitely there's links down to our guest Jinzx down below. So let's touch on some topics, and then we're going to go ahead and get out of here. So let's pull up some topics. Of course, if you guys didn't know, we have just announced, booked today, this Monday, you're getting a very special Monday Hours of Chaos podcast. So this Monday, we are going to be joined for a special Monday Hours of Chaos podcast. And who's joining us? The one and only LB Sickening is going to be joining us on Monday. So be there. Another good show that's coming up. Look at this. It's the Super Show 316. And it features Kyle Combs' Birthday Brawl. You have Axe playing this show, Sun, super famous Fun Time guys playing this show, as well as Clockwork. And then you have Little White performing. And it's going down in Youngstown, Ohio. Again, Davey, you say Ohio don't get shows? Well, Ohio's definitely getting a lot of shows. That's for sure. Then recently, Shane Douglas recently has a YouTube channel, for those that don't know, and he talked about on his YouTube channel about working with ICP and performing the gathering and whatnot. The franchise, Shane Douglas, one of the ECW originals, former ECW World Heavyweight Champion. I actually got to see Shane Douglas wrestle one time. I saw him wrestle at the Gathering 2019, I believe. What's up, The Real Freak? We're just wrapping up. Another good show we have coming out, like next year, we have Rockville down here in Daytona Beach, Florida. You have ICP playing this music festival along with some other dope acts performing here. That, like, just the whole lineup for this festival is dope, and it's called Welcome to Rockville. It's going down in Daytona Beach this year, actually in May. So, of course, ICP is playing one of the nights. Daytona's not too far from us, so we're probably going to try to go. But not just for ICP, just this whole lineup it's just a very dope lineup. Then you have Juggalo Ohio 2, the official pre-party kickoff going down with performances from 216 Zay, as well as many others. Then another show you have going down is the Ill Tricks show, which is Doc Gruesome and Little Maniac going down at the Cypress venue in Reno, Nevada. Another one night only. This is March 10th. And then another dope show you have coming May 19th is the Underground United, the 7th annual show. So far, you have Chuckles booked to perform there. And then you have Beast Mode Warriors. And you have so many other, actually, you have Miss Dosha playing this show, as well as Spec One. And immediately after the event, there is going to be a hot sauce challenge. It says hot sauce challenge immediately after the show. So who knows, if maybe Don Chaos might make an appearance at this show. Who knows? Because, you know, Underground United. Then you have Juggalo Day in Columbus, which is Clockwork E, super famous fun time guys playing, Bands in the Hole, so many. You know, we have just all these dope shows coming around. And then, of course, we got Juggalo Weekend going down February 23rd and the 24th at the Bowling Center at Techport in San Antonio, Texas. So, yeah, this has been the Hours of Chaos podcast. You know, like and subscribe and all that good old happy jazz. Again, thank you, Jinzo, our guest, for coming on the show. Again, thank you, HB the Grizzly, who helped book this guest tonight. And yeah, see you guys Monday when we have LB the Sickening on. Again, peep the links down in the description. And yeah, and all that good happy jazz. And you guys have a good night. All right, y'all. Don Chaos signing out. Later, y'all.